All right, I'm all about the clay or the salt dough today. This stuff is so fun. So I'm going to show you just a couple ideas that you can make. Something that really could be fun is making something for your kid's room, or maybe you're doing e-learning and they have their own little spot or a desk. You can make your own nameplate. So this salt dough is easy to make. You can find a recipe online. I use 3/4 cup of water, 3/4 cup of salt, and 2 cups of flour, and you just mix until you have this consistency. So I have quite a bit, so I'm trying to figure out what to make with it. So to do a nameplate, I'm gonna pull some from my pile, and I am working on just like a plastic folder. You could work on a file folder, you could work on newspaper, you could work on copy paper, anything you want. So I kind of rolled mine out into a fat coil, and then I'm going to make a slab. So a slab is just a flattened piece of clay, and for me it's like a little pancake. So there we go. And I like to squish and then flip. That's just how I like to work with it. Okay, so this is gonna be what I consider my background. So now, I'll set that to the side. I am going to grab some more clay, and I'm gonna roll out a coil. So a coil is a thin piece of clay that's rolled. So it's kind of like you're working at the pretzel shop, and you're just gonna roll this clay as thin. So this is Pablo Picasso, everybody. Okay, Pablo, can you say hi? So he's named after Pablo Picasso. So I guess it's fitting that he's trying to interrupt our art lesson here. Okay, so this thin coil is going to become letters. Hi, Pablo. So for my nameplate, I have my background, and now I need my name. Now, if you wanted this colored already, you could add food coloring to this as you were mixing. Word to the wise. If you do not want your hands to be food coloring stained like you have done tie-dye, mix your food coloring in the water, then add your salt and stir, add a cup of flour and stir, and then your last cup of flour. And that will, in my experience, has prevented some hand staining from happening for me. Okay, so I have my thin little coil, and now I'm gonna spell out my name. So now this can be fancy or not fancy. It's completely up to your artist's preference. So I have my T going on. There's gonna be my little O. Now I have found for me that if I mix this dough up and I use it right away, like the same day, it sticks to the clay just fine, or the salt dough just fine. If you have stored it in a gallon baggie and you don't find it sticking, just take a little bit of water, just put a little bit of water on my finger, moisten or wet wherever you're gonna stick the clay, and then push it down. So that's gonna be my little dot. And I need a tiny piece for my eye. So this is awesome fine motor. So I am currently working with pipes. She is not holding her crayons or markers in the right hold yet. She's still like a fist, like this. So I'm still working on anything fine motor with her. Her awesome preschool teacher has given me some tips, so I started to try. But anything fine motor like this is really gonna help, because working with something small and sticking it on, really good for your kiddos, for your artists, but for you too. Okay, so I filled up this space pretty well, but let's say that you have some like extra space on either edge. Challenge your artist to think how you can use that space. Could I cut that off? Yeah. Could I squish it back in? Yeah. But what else could you do with it? So I'm just going, I think I'm going to use some extra clay. I'll make a heart. That's pretty. Pablo's trying to put his paw in my clay. I think Pablo's saying he wants his paw print in the clay. Okay, so that is my little nameplate. Let me see if I can push that up for you to see. So I did a background, clay piece, and then I molded, pulled, pushed to make little letters and stuck it on there. Maybe I curve it. At this point, what do? Well, you need to let it dry. You can let it dry on a piece of paper, newspaper, cardboard, a paper plate, a cookie sheet. You can set this in the sunshine. If you're gonna leave it inside, let it dry, rest all night, and then when you wake up in the morning, flip it over so that the other side gets dry too, because this is very porous. Once it's dry, color it. You could color it with markers or Sharpies, or you could paint it with any paint. Any paint would do. And then you're done with it. You could add glitter if you're one of those super cool parents that have glitter in your house. I don't. You could do that too. So that's the nameplate. Give it a go.